On a very hot weekend in June, we were delighted to welcome to Darnford Moors two very different kinds of visitors. A team of volunteers from the Waterway Recovery Group were here for the whole weekend, and today we were visited by our Vice President of over 20 years, Sir David Suchet and Lady Sheila Suchet.
So here's Sarah with the cakes.
I'm Sarah with the cakes.
I brought cake, where shall I put it?
Oh, lovely. All around.
Temperatures were soaring, but it didn't stop the work of the Waterway Recovery Group team from continuing with towpath construction. WRG volunteers have been assisting LHCRT since the very beginning, including the installation of the lift bridge. A 2-week summer camp at the end of July, early August, is coming up where they plan to build another 300 metres of towpath. Sir David became involved in this project in August of last year when the trustees were assembling a funding bid for the Pippa Award. We needed to include a 5-minute video outlining the project, and we needed it at short notice.
My name is David Suchet, and I'm proud to have been Vice President of the Lichfield and Hatherton Canals Restoration Trust for 20 years. I want to tell you about a very exciting new project. Darnford Moors have been part of the National Canal Transport System since 1797, inspired by the Industrial Revolution, but became disused with many others in 1954.
I'm standing here, of course, and I really can't believe what I'm witnessing and seeing with our dear Eric and Sheila and Bob, and we're all here together to see this for us for the very first time. And, well, if I can put it in plain English, I'm gobsmacked.
So David, when you did that commentary for us, you told us about the exciting new project. That was the first you heard of it, really, wasn't it?
Yes, I didn't really know what it entailed until I did that narration that you sent me, really, and that was a last minute ask, wasn't it?
It was an essential ingredient in the Pippa Award grant to convince them, and it did so convincingly convince them that we were a worthy contender for their grant.
Yeah, and I mean, we have been gifted, when I say we, it's been gifted to us, and it's almost beyond belief that that happened.
Well, we were very fortunate to get it, weren't we?
I think so.
And, but when you're so fortunate, I can't think of a more worthy cause.
Well, it's a wonderful cause because as it's now really moved to ecological development and pluses, and it's gone way beyond canals and boating. It's just nature, it's wildlife, it's development, and it's vitally important to our whole environment.
It is indeed. Well, at my time of life, I'm hoping that it'll be open within the next 2 years or so, because I'm not going to be here forever.
Aren't you?
No, not really.
I've heard.
I wish I were immortal, but I'm not.
Well, just long enough to see this finished and get your boat on.
It'll be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely wonderful.
And Sheila and I have said that if Eric gets his boat on, we'll be following in ours.
It might be a blow-up canoe, but...
Well, I'll hold you to that.
But, we're holding up the work, you know. This poor gentleman wants to come across the bridge.
Oh, right.
I was just looking at this.
Right, well, a bit of Neolithic flint knapping.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised at that. Probably.
Wow.
Incredible.
Spent 2 or 3 times and it's still their real money.
Yeah.
For the perhaps you've met David Suchet previously, perhaps, maybe not.
Hello. Please don't.
Adrian Sturgis.
Adrian. What a pleasure to meet you.
Sheila with him.
What we've got here this weekend, and whether Bob's explained it to you, we've got what we call one of our mobile working parties, which is part of the Water Recovery Group, which I'm involved with as well.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
But also I'm involved with the Lichfield, and some time ago Pete Buck asked me would I run this site for him.
Right.
So he came in, it was brambles everywhere.
Yeah.
We did a lot of investigation work and then carried on doing, literally what you see here, but we've had the contractors on here working with the contractors, and we're now just waiting for them to put the water in.
It's amazing.
It's
Absolutely amazing.
Astonishing,
How long has it
isn't it?
taken?
We moved in here on the 9th of, round about the 9th of September last year.
And you've done all this since then?
Yeah, I go say, okay, the contractors have laid all the liner in and
Yeah,
so
I know,
on.
but
Yeah,
even
yeah.
so.
But, yeah,
I
the
mean,
rest
this
of it.
is...
I know, the piles are already in, all the sheet piles are in, but we've done a lot of restoration work
So
on
what
that.
you're saying is this is ready for water?
Yeah, we're just waiting for the water to go in it. Yeah.
Gosh, have we got a hose somewhere?
I've got a watering can.
Isn't there a tap nearby? Switch on.
No, we're just waiting for the contractors to get their pump in here.
Is
and
that
go
right?
for it, yeah. There's a lot of jobs to be done,
Yes.
obviously by the contractors, but also we do have a water recovery team coming in for a fortnight on one of their canal camps.
Oh, how great.
So we hand the whole site over to them because I'm going down another canal camp down in Gloucester for a fortnight.
So we've already got that canal camp booked, haven't we?
Yes, oh yeah,
From
that's
coming
all
in.
booked, yeah.
They're already coming.
Yeah, that's already sorted and so on.
His twin brother looks exactly like him.
So how many people are here today?
We've got a team, well, we've actually got, I think it's 14 here. And then obviously got the most important person, the cook back at the accommodation doing the cooking. Got to have the cook. Yeah, so we always make sure we've got cooks with us.
Oh, I think that's
so
a good
on.
idea. Yeah.
Yes, it works quite nicely.
Well, I
yeah.
think we're all very lucky to have you.
Yeah.
We enjoy doing it.
Well,
that's
that's
it.
wonderful.
We've got a good team here,
Yes,
and they just get on with the job, and that's it, which is nice.
yes.
And of course we're hindered by the fact there's an 11,000 volt electric line right overhead.
Yeah.
And this is what you were talking
this
to us
is where
about,
you're gonna put the
laying the
power line in.
electricity for the electric boats.
But you can't have steel plant
Yeah.
working anywhere near it.
Oh,
So be very careful.
Yeah, the power will arc
really?
across
Yeah.
and electrify the
Oh yeah,
things
we
that
live
don't.
on that big machine that's sitting on the bank the other side. That's the one I normally drive. That I can hit the power lines.
oh.
So hence that's one of the reasons I was asked to run the site, because I used to be a
No.
commercial operator. So I'm a bit used to them things bite.
Yeah.
All the,
Yeah.
all the travel.
Are we saying then that all restoration projects now, throughout nationwide, have to have the electric alongside for the electric boats after 2025?
The Canal River Trust are under government policy to try to introduce charging points for electrically driven canal boats.
Yes.
Certainly by 2050 at the furthest. Sounds like an awful long time away, but it isn't really that far. But you've got 2,000 miles of cabling to go down.
Yes. That's an extraordinary thought.
It is.
Don't see how it's going to happen.
It is
They
really,
haven't got
but
the money
how
to restore
fortunate
the
in a
canals.
way
How are they
that
gonna...
this is here for us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a gift
So what's
that
the
nobody
It is.
anticipated.
Well, we didn't anticipate
No.
that.
well? The poles are actually sited on land where we get a wayleave payment from the National Grid for them, and the brook, the water is there. So we need to put a pump in there to draw water from the brook by the Environment Agency licence. At a given time of the year, it's restricted to keep this in water.
Yes.
And having done that, of course, the idea is to put an electric pump, and that comes off the HS2 grant as allowance for it, to continue the cabling along the back of that footpath as far as we can go and continue onwards. We own the land beyond as well, so that the Lock 30, just out of the distance here, can also have electric power if we need it there.
So when I get to St Peter's Gate and they're going to say, what do you want? I'm going to say, I want to come back in 50 years' time and see the development on the Lichfield and Hatton Canal.
It won't be like that. So watch your code. These are electric gates.
That's brilliant.
Gotcha.
Love it.
Well, I think it's really. I wouldn't have missed a day for all the tea in China.
You can't script stuff like that, can you?
Oh, it's such a pleasure. I'm in awe of what you do.
I enjoy doing it. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it.
Well, as I said, we're very fortunate that you're at the helm. Bless you.
I'll see you then.
Thank you.
So I'm a civil engineer by degree, but unfortunately because I work full time for a government regulator, I come and help out now on event days, and I go to the forums and that.
Right.
So I saw you on the video last night, and but I can't get my hands, stuck into this sort of stuff. And I crew for friends who've got historic boats.
Well, we forgive you for that. We can't do it either.
So
We've done a little bit over the years.
We're going to
I
have
was at
to
Flooding Coast yesterday talking about surface water drainage. Well, in seminars where people were talking about surface water drainage. So, and they were talking about holding on to more on sites and not putting it in sewers to reduce sewer flooding.
Yeah, well that makes sense, doesn't it? Why aren't we
So
doing
to
that?
help solve the problem that sewers overflow, that's a hot topic at the moment. Actually, my favourite is Flushed Away.
Oh yes.
Well, there's water.
Because I started in the sewerage dirty side.
Oh,
of the
how
business.
funny. You saw that film.
I love it. I've got 2 copies of it. I lend it out to friends because I think it's brilliant.
I think it's lovely. Well, thank you for telling me. And nobody ever mentions that. Yes, but nothing as dramatic as this, I may say. I mean, this is the real world.
CRT,
Coming on leaps
they
and
said
bounds.
they'll
Oh, I
take
think
over
it's happening so
each section
quickly.
that goes in water.
Good to see you here.
I'm so amazed.
Yeah, we're making a.
But it's ready.
It's ready. It's ready for water. It's
So the boats can come on.
getting some additional resources in as well has helped a great deal.
Yeah.
So
But you own it.
it's very useful.
So
Next year in water, Peter.
No, it'll be. I think you'll see another couple of months there'll be water in here.
Really? Oh, well
Do you
done.
really think so?
You can never have enough, can
That's
you?
sealed up.
Especially the boat yard.
Abstraction is right. As long as there's water in the stream.
Or the fuel boat
If there isn't any water in the stream, we can't take it. Or if there isn't enough water in the stream, we can't take it. We can't abstract it.
I think there's a lot up there.
Well, I think for about at least 3 days,
Yeah.
possibly 4 days of very hot weather. I'm aware of what a big job it has been altogether.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful job.
And there's something like 6,000 tonnes of material in there. And then that was trimmed. We put all the wet stuff behind. That's now underneath that heap. All the materials are drying out nicely, so some of that's going to be used elsewhere. So it's logistics all the time.
But it's all been lined and
That's all lined now. Everything you see there, everything you see here is lined. So this should hold. So this is the way down towards Old Lock 29. There's a grid on it that stops it sliding down, and this stone is of a particular grading.
I was going to say, why doesn't it all slide down?
If you try and push it and slide it, it holds together. It locks together, and it locks into the grid that is there. It's a 2-inch plastic grid that they put, and they lock it at the top.
this is going to be heavily used.
This is going to be fairly heavily used. Yeah. We've even put on the nose here, where boats come through. Again, if somebody comes in and hits this. Again, they would eventually knock the foot of material that is the protection to the liner off. So we've put a 6-inch layer of concrete there. Wow. So that's good. Bought another 4,000 tonne of material. We trimmed from trimming of and shaping and profiling of the batter further down towards Darnford Lane. Moved that up here, and we hired tracked dumpers to do the job. If you saw those track dumpers. They're absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant, they can swivel.
They absolutely swivel. This is the way the mesh locks into the trench at the top and goes over the top, and then this stone basically gets into it, and because it's because it's a particular grading, it's quite difficult to shear it, and
Yes.
so it won't slide down.
Amazing, isn't it?
Extraordinary.
So we've left a winding hole in. It's not a 70-foot winding hole. Apologies to all those who've got 70-foot boats, but
What would it be?
it's a 15 meters. So yes, 50 foot.
Right.
So you'll get a good number of boats here. The intention was that there is a winding hole down there below Lock 30, and there's another one the other end.
Well,
So the back of the lock, the outside, I think the farmer, when he bought the original land, he had a go at trying to recover bricks from it, bricks and hardcore from it. But and in fact, the old cast iron slam plate, which is at the end of the lock where you slam into, is still there. Of course, they couldn't get it out from here, so because this is so inaccessible. This is the dead hedging that one of our lads came up with the idea to use, rather than burn it, put it in there, and the birds will nest in it. There'll be some benches in here. We've got lots of the old blocks there which we'll put in as seats. Taking an odd tree. We've left a few standing trees. We'll walk around the end.
wonderful. Really wonderful.
There's a lot here. We might just take another tree out of here. It's tempting to take one out and put it into a lock so we can use it, but and we've probably got the pieces of machinery that could do that, so we might say it's recovered, but we'll possibly put a fiberglass one back in there as to make it look right. So you come into there and come up to this level. That's the invert, and basically the sides of the canal were up at this level, and that carried across the field, and hence you needed a humpback bridge on Darnford Lane to get over the top of this canal. So rather than do that, they said you can't put a humpback bridge back on Darnford Lane. So what we said was, right, we'll leave Lock 29, we'll divert on the contour, which is a good Brindleyism.
Yes.
You'll follow the contour. So we followed the contour all down, got up to the same point at Darnford Lane, and we're going down 8 foot lower. So we don't need a humpback bridge.
Wow,
So,
brilliant.
So that's the way that works. A walk into the woods. So the towpath, of course, now goes, or the nature trail towpath goes here. That's the main towpath on this side. This is the nature trail on this, but it's a maintenance track for us as well. So it goes right. Planted all the hedging through some portions of it.
Oh, look at that, yeah.
So it's the ecology park again. It's trying to get it really back to green. Happy? Okay. You're right.
Yes, I'm fine.
It's really nice to see you. I'm so pleased you both came,
Thank
and
you.
Bless your heart.
put it somewhere where we can actually get to it and see it. So.
Having moved.
Thank you very
Wonderful
much.
visit.
What happened was,
Really
look,
great.
I've
Thank
got
you.
to
Cheers,
Thank you,
then.
Peter.
Thanks, David. Thanks again, guys.
Thanks again,
Cheers.
Peter.
Bye.